How much time do you spend talking with your thumbs rather than your mouth? Do you prefer Snapchatting or direct messaging rather than talking in person or over the phone? Social media is becoming more natural to people than talking in person. This causes a shift in the culture of communication. This means that apps such as Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, and Twitter are affecting the personal relationships that are built when talking in person. This even means that people can feel awkward having to actually carry on a conversation with another individual instead of using social media. This reliance on social media can lead to the loss of one's people and communication skills. Communicating through social media can negatively impact real-life communication because of the absence of expression, tone, and having to speak your mind to someone's face. So, what is social media? According to the University of the People, the Education Revolution, social media can be defined as the collection of online platforms that involve the sharing, collaboration with the online community by posting, commenting, and interacting with one another. Along with social media platforms that have been around for a while, such as Facebook and Twitter, new platforms have begun to take hold of the social media outreach, such as TikTok and Twitch. These platforms are used primarily by the younger generation, with their widespread use drastically increasing since the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic. According to the University of the People, the Education Revolution, around 3 billion people use social media today, which means that 40% of the world uses social media for communication. 11% of adults reported preferring staying at home on Facebook rather than going out on the weekend. This means that the increased use of social media is not only taking up a large amount of the user's time, but is also affecting their social life. Because of this overuse of social media, users can become addicted to these platforms, finding themselves oftentimes binging on social media by spending countless hours scrolling through different sites or videos. Once people become connected to social media, it is hard for them to stop. According to the University of the People, the Education Revolution, 23% of young users get their news from social media, and a whopping 61% get political news from Facebook. This is just one example of a user's reliability on social media that leads to them being disconnected from real-life communication. Their reliability also causes them to become bored with real in-person conversations. Because of their impulsive need for social media consumption, users will often resort to their phones because of their boredom or awkwardness during real conversations, leading to a diminished social life with less meaningful interactions with their friends and family. Social media is affecting how communication is carried out and leaves out important parts of a conversation that only occur when spending time with others face to face. When it comes to having a conversation, tone and expression allow people to know how each other feel. A person is able to tell if another is happy or upset just by the tone of their voice. Expressions help to understand how the person actually reacts to what someone is saying. In an article by Psychology Today, based on the subject of communicating through text, it says, in the absence of facial expression, tone of voice, gesture, and good old-fashioned vibe, we have very little to help us discern what the other person is trying to tell us. When communicating through social media, it is hard to see if someone is actually upset or not. This can lead to confusion and frustration for the two or more people involved in the conversation. Without tone and expression, something that is said can be misunderstood to be something that it was not implied to be, and can even sound rude without that being the intent. This confusion caused by interactions through social media can lead to people growing further apart and sometimes even leads to the end of the relationship. But problems can easily be solved when actually talking to the individual and realizing that it was all just a misunderstanding. Another problem with communicating through social media is the boldness that comes with it. In an article by Psychology Today, Wallace says, with the latest research, it says that it is actually a lack of eye contact that allows us to be particularly rude to people. Social media is used by many people as a way of putting down or being rude to others. Many rumors can be spread through social media very quickly that can ruin someone's life. It is easier for them to use social media because they do not have to say these rude things in person. This leads to many fake relationships where people think they are friends while around each other, but they are harassed through social media. Social media is also used by different people to start arguments, debates, and is used to specifically call out people to start drama. This negatively impacts the way people are able to actually get to know one another instead of feeling like they have to be the dominant person. It would also take away some of this boldness that comes with not talking to someone face to face. One may say that social media is a great way to stay in touch with people who they cannot see every day. But why not just give them a call? Calling someone will let the person hear their voice and communicate directly. It is also more authentic than just directly messaging someone on social media. Even though social media has allowed us to communicate with more people than ever, it has lessened the way we interact with others. According to Thrive Global, one survey found that 74% of millennials prefer conversing digitally rather than in person. Social media may be more convenient, but it lowers the quality of the interaction. The convenience of social media and communication has led to the creation of a new culture of communication. According to the Education magazine, the increase in the speed of communication has created a sense of urgency and a need to share things among people. This means that with this movement towards technological communication, society will automatically move away from traditional communication. The chances of people meeting in person to talk are becoming increasingly slim. The English language is also being affected as text message language is coming into today's culture. One's reliability on social media communication can also prove dangerous because of the amount of false information circulating around the internet. Users' people skills, creativity, and thinking abilities are deteriorating as they become used to being by themselves and communicating with their different devices rather than in person. In conclusion, communication through social media negatively impacts real-life communication because of the many problems of not knowing the motives behind individuals' words and not actually spending time with them. The confusion that comes with using social media can easily be avoided by actually talking to the person. Spending more time using one's thumbs to communicate via direct message or preferring social media over real-life communication can lead to a loss of authentic relationships. People lose the ability to comfortably conversate with other individuals due to getting comfortable doing it through social media. In order to preserve one's people skills and communication skills, a movement away from a developed reliability on social media is essential. This is also the best way to preserve one's desire to spend time with friends and family face to face. The moments of laughter and sadness that come with spending time with each other in person can bond people in a way that social media never will. Thank you.